Good morning. I'm back again with class 6 video lectures. I hope class 6 students are watching me right now. Please show your presence by commenting below. So today we are going to discuss about the first chapter for this term, that is our environment. Our environment. What do you mean by environment? Environment क्या है? So anything that is present, anything and everything which is present around you constitutes the environment. Imagine yourself standing in a garden. Okay? In a garden, when you are standing, you can see number of things around you. There are plants, you have small fish, insects, frogs, soil, stones, pebbles. Many things are around you. The things which are around you might be living, they are living. Some are non-living. So both living as well as non-living things constitute your surrounding, and this surrounding is only known as your environment. So environment is made up of both living as well as non-living things. Living things are known as the biotic components of the environment. Living things are known as the biotic components of the environment, whereas non-living things are known as the abiotic components of the environment. In this chapter, we'll emphasize on biotic component of the environment. Biotic component means the component of the environment which is living, which has life. So the biotic component can be broadly classified into two categories. Category number 1, producers. Producers, those who can make their own food. They are also known as autotrophs. You guessed it right. These are plants. These are the plants around us which can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Green plants are also known as producers as well as autotrophs. How are they able to perform photosynthesis? Because green plants have a pigment known as chlorophyll which enables them to perform photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process in which the green plants use water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to prepare food, which is basically glucose, along with oxygen and some water vapor. Oxygen, majorly it's water, carbon dioxide and water, which is used as the raw material in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to give rise to food, which is glucose and oxygen. Glucose and oxygen. So I hope it's clear to you. Now, after the producers or the autotrophs, we have another component of the biotic part of the environment, that is the consumers. We are the consumers. Can we make our own food? No. Neither we nor a cow nor a dog. None of us can prepare our own food. We depend on plants for our food. Therefore, we are known as consumers. We are known as consumers because we are consuming what the plants are preparing for us. We are consuming what the plants are preparing for us. So, consumers can also be divided into two categories. See, always you are going to have classifications, okay? Consumers or the heterotrophs. consumers or the heterotrophs can be classified into two categories. The first category is that of herbivores. It is that of the herbivores or the primary consumers. Herbivores are the primary consumers. What are herbivores? These are the animals which consume or which eat directly from the plants. These are the plant eating animals. So a cow, a buffalo, a deer, all these are herbivores. They get their food directly from the plant. They are also known as primary consumers. They are also known as primary consumers. And the next segment, the next component of heterotrophs is carnivores. They are carnivores. What are carnivores? These are the animals which eat flesh of other animals. For example, lion, tiger, wolf. These are the animals which feed on the flesh of other animals. These carnivores are known as secondary consumers. So primary consumers are also known as herbivores. Secondary consumers are also known as carnivores. Primary consumers or herbivores, example, cow. Secondary consumers or carnivores, your example is lion. Herbivores, cow. Carnivores, lion. ठीक है? Next is you have another set of animals in this in this consumers or heterotrophs, that is omnivores. Omnivores matlab the animals which eat both directly from plants as well as from the flesh of the animals. वो हम लोग है कि नहीं? Omnivores. We get our food directly from the plant. We have flesh of the animals. Some of us, those who are non-vegetarians, like that. Many animals like bear, the crow, pig, all these are omnivores. But that means they get their food directly from the plants as well as from the animals, that is in the form of flesh. Okay, so these are omnivores. So we talked about heterotrophs. In heterotrophs we talked about herbivores which eat directly from the plants, example cow, buffalo, deer. Then we had carnivores, example lion, tiger. These are the animals which eat the flesh of others, wolf. Then we had omnivores. These are the animals which get their food both from plants as well as from the animals, as in the form of flesh. But one more category is there which we have to give attention, that is the decomposers. Think of a situation. आप लोग एक बात को ध्यान से देखो क्या होता है, प्लांट्स जो फूड बना रहा है ना, it is getting the minerals, the nutrient from the soil. अब सॉइल से ज़रा न्यूट्रिएंट लिया, ठीक है, फोटोसिंथेसिस कर दिया, फूड बना. फूड को किसने खाया? सपोज डियर ने खा लिया. डियर ने खाया. डियर, उस पेड़ के पत्तों को डियर खाने के बाद उस डियर को कौन खाता है? लायन खाता है. तो डियर डिपेंड किया किसके ऊपर? प्लांट के ऊपर. लायन डिपेंड किया किसके ऊपर? प्लांट के ऊपर. अब जो हमारा अर्थ है, अर्थ में न्यूट्रिएंट्स तो फिक्स्ड है ना, कि हर साल कहीं ना कहीं ऊपर से लाके हम डंप कर देते. डंप तो नहीं करते, न्यूट्रिएंट्स तो फिक्स है. जितने न्यूट्रिएंट्स अर्थ से मिलियंस एंड बिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स पहले थे, आज भी उतने ही है. तो हर बार प्लांट को नया न्यूट्रिएंट कैसे मिल जाता है? इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट है कि नहीं? तो इस फैक्ट को समझने के लिए आपको ये जानना पड़ेगा कि एवरी टाइम व्हेन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स रिलीज एक्सक्रीटा, जो उनकी पॉटी निकलती है, एंड व्हेन द लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स डाई, दे आर एक्टेड अपन बाय माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स. छोटे छोटे माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जो कि हम खाली आंख से देख भी नहीं पाते. These dead bodies of living organisms and the excreta of living organisms, it is acted upon by microorganisms known as decomposers, and they are converted into simpler form in the form of nutrient. मतलब जहाँ से फूड आया था उसको सिंप्लीफाई करके उसी सॉइल में हमने वापस कर दिया. किसकी मदद से? डिकम्पोजर्स की मदद से. विदाउट डिकम्पोजर्स the nutrients which are present in the soil cannot get back to the soil again. वो सॉइल में फिर से वापस जा नहीं सकते. तो आपको इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस बहुत समझनी है. किसके? डिकम्पोजर्स के. डिकम्पोजर्स आर वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, फॉर द एनवायरमेंट. They help in recycling of the nutrients. They help in the recycling of the nutrients by decomposing the dead and decayed bodies of the living organism, as well as acting upon the excreta released by the living organisms. Okay? Some decomposers are like fungi, bacteria, etc. Again, one more set of organisms are there which are a part of the consumers or the heterotrophs. They are scavengers. These are a group of animals which feed on dead bodies. These animals are like jackal, vulture, crow. These are the animals which help to keep the environment clean. So till now we studied about the environment. What is the environment? What are the various important components of the environment in the form of biotic component and abiotic component? The biotic component comprises of two segments, that is the producer, which is also known as autotrophs, and the consumer, which is also known as heterotrophs. Producers are, or the autotrophs are nothing but the are the green plants. These green plants are capable of preparing their own food by the process of photosynthesis. They are able to perform photosynthesis because of the presence of a pigment present in them known as chlorophyll. During photosynthesis, they make use of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to convert or to form food, that is the glucose and oxygen gas. Then we studied about the consumers or the herbivores. Consumers had basically two components, that is the primary consumers. Primary consumers are also known as herbivores. Herbivores are those animals which feed directly on plant or which get their food directly from the plant. For example, deer, cow, buffalo. These are the primary consumers or herbivores. Then you have carnivores or the secondary consumers. These are the animals which eat the flesh of other animals. Okay, for example, lion, tiger, cheetah. These are the animals which are also known as the secondary consumers or the carnivores. Then we had omnivores. These were the animals which get their food both from plants and animals. For example, humans, crow, bear, pig. These were all omnivores. They get their food directly from the plants as well as from the other animals in the form of flesh. Then we have decomposers. Decomposers, these are microorganisms which cannot be seen with the naked eye. We require a very powerful microscope to see these tiny microorganisms. They are important for decomposing the dead bodies of the living organisms, and they are required for decaying or recycling the nutrients back into the soil so that the plants can use them again during photosynthesis. We also talked about scavengers. These were the animals which eat upon or which feed on the dead bodies of animals and help in keeping the environment clean. Examples of scavengers were vulture, jackal, crow, etc. Okay. Now, the next part of this chapter, that is biodegradable substances and non-biodegradable substances. Biodegradable substances and non-biodegradable substances. चलिए आपसे एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. अभी तो सब घर में ही बंद है, आप है ना, घर में सारे बंद है कि नहीं, कहीं बाहर तो जा नहीं सकते. तो अभी आपने क्या किया, आपने एक एप्पल खाया, ठीक है, उसका पील कर दिया, एप्पल को छिलके निकाल दिया, एप्पल खाया. अब ये जो एप्पल खाने के बाद जो उसका पील बच गया और बीच का जो पोर्शन बच गया, उसको आपने क्या किया, अपने गार्डन में कोने में फेंक दिया, ठीक है. और उसके साथ ही आपने एक एल्यूमिनियम फॉयल का टुकड़ा भी फेंक दिया. सो आफ्टर 1 वीक अगर आप जाकर देखो, क्या आपको वो एप्पल का पील वैसे ही इंटैक्ट मिलेगा? अगर आप चेक करो एप्पल का पील और एल्यूमिनियम फॉयल दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस आपको मिलेगा. आप 1 वीक के बाद जब जाओगे, आपको एप्पल पील जो इंटैक्ट नहीं मिलने वाला, उस पर बहुत सारे कीड़े लग गए होंगे, बहुत छोटा हो गया होगा. ऑन द अदर हैंड, एल्यूमिनियम फॉयल जैसा था वो वैसे ही रहेगा. वो 1 वीक क्या 1 ईयर के बाद भी वैसे ही रहने वाला है. समझ में आई मेरी बात? तो ये डिफरेंस क्यों, एल्यूमिनियम फॉयल को कुछ क्यों नहीं हो रहा है और यहाँ पर एप्पल पील क्यों हमारा खराब हो जा रहा है, ये डिफरेंस क्यों आया? ये डिफरेंस इसीलिए आया क्योंकि दोनों चीजें अलग है. हमारा एप्पल पील जो है, इट वॉज बींग एक्टेड अपन बाय द सेम डिकम्पोजर्स. मैंने बताया था माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स के ऊपर काम किया. डिकम्पोजर्स एक्टेड अपन द एप्पल पील, whereas the aluminium foil was not acted upon by the microorganisms or the decomposers. The reason is very simple. It is because apple peel is biodegradable in nature. It is a biodegradable substance, whereas aluminium foil is a non-biodegradable substance. अगर कोई आपको पूछे what is a biodegradable substance, तो आपका आंसर क्या होगा? तो these are the substances which are acted upon by decomposers or microorganisms and can be turned into simpler form. They are known as biodegradable substances. On the other hand, the substances which cannot be acted upon by decomposers and can't be turned into simpler form by decomposers is known as or are known as non-biodegradable substances. Non-biodegradable substances. So plastic is non-biodegradable. Vegetable peel is biodegradable. Paper is biodegradable. Aluminium foil is non-biodegradable. Therefore, we should always go for biodegradable substances. While going to the market also, when we are buying some stuff, we all should always go for paper bags, because paper bags are biodegradable, they don't cause any pollution, whereas plastic bags, polythene bags, they are non biodegradable. उनके ऊपर कोई भी माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म एक्ट करता ही नहीं है, एंड दैट्स व्हाट मेक्स देम अ मेनेस. प्रॉब्लम कॉज करते हैं वो, काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम, पॉल्यूशन कॉज करते हैं, हमारे ड्रेनेज सिस्टम्स को क्लॉग कर देते हैं. व्हेन वी बर्न प्लास्टिक, हार्मफुल पॉइजनस गैसेस कम आउट विच आर अ ट्रबल for the environment. So we should always go for biodegradable substances, biodegradable packaging bags that like that of the paper bags or cloth bags. Okay. Now you might have heard of a concept of segregating the waste. बहुत सारी जगह पर दो डस्टबिन्स होते हैं, एक लिखा होता है गीला कचरा, सूखा कचरा. ग्रीन बीन, ब्लू बीन का कॉन्सेप्ट देखा होगा आपने, बहुत सारी जगह पर आ चुका है. हम घर में भी करते हैं, मेरे घर में होता है वो. हम गीला कचरा जो बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट है उसको अलग रखते हैं, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट को अलग. ऐसा क्यों, क्या रीज़न है? कचरा तो कचरा ही होता है ना, अल्टीमेटली उसको तो फेंकना ही है. बट नो, बीइंग अ रिस्पॉन्सिबल एंड एजुकेटेड सिटीजन, वी शुड नो आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. हम ऐसे ही चीज़ों को बाहर फेंक नहीं सकते. आज जो हम सिचुएशंस फेस कर रहे हैं बाहर में, ऐसा ही सेल्फिश एटीट्यूड के लिए फेस कर रहे हैं. हमें हमारे साथ साथ, हमारे घर के साथ साथ, हमारे सोसाइटी, हमारे एनवायरनमेंट की भी केयर करनी पड़ेगी. तो इसीलिए आपको क्या करना पड़ता है? वी शुड सेग्रीगेट द वेस्ट, वी शुड सेपरेट द बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट एंड द नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट. आप पूछोगे सर उसका क्या फ़ायदा? बहुत फ़ायदा है. The biodegradable waste that we are having, we can use it for making compost. Compost is a kind of biofertilizer. What you have to do is, you have to dig a pit, dump that waste into it and cover it for a span of 15 days. You will have your compost, which is a very good fertilizer, फर्टिलाइजर विच यू कैन यूज इन योर किचन गार्डन. देखा कचरे से कितना फायदा हुआ. ऑन द अदर हैंड, द नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट कुड बी सोल्ड फॉर रिसाइकलिंग पर्पज. सो इट्स क्वाइट अ गुड यूज फॉर अस by separating the waste in the form of biodegradable waste and non biodegradable waste. अब मैंने कंपोस्ट की बात कर ही दी है. So compost making takes a bit long process, but थोड़ा सा लेंदी प्रोसेस है, बिकॉज आपको डिग खोदना है, उसके अंदर अपना बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट डालना है, फिर कवर करना है, वेट करना है 15 to 20 days, फिर जाके आपको आपका कंपोस्ट मिलेगा. लेकिन सबको टाइम की पड़ी है ना, जल्दी जल्दी करना सारा कुछ. वी कैन हेस्टन द प्रोसेस. We can make this process of making compost faster by the use of worms. Worms समझ रहे हैं ना? Worms, earthworm, केचुआ, उसको यूज करके हम क्या कर सकते हैं? We can fasten the process, we can hasten the process of compost making. And fastening the process by hastening the process of compost making using worms like red worms is known as vermicomposting. It is known as vermicomposting. In this method, the compost can be prepared in a much faster manner from biodegradable waste by the use of these worms. This vermicompost, or the compost prepared from the process of vermicomposting, is a very good method. It's a very good biofertilizer. It's a very good biofertilizer for the fields, for the plants. So see what we have done. We just converted the waste directly into something valuable for us. Okay, so that's how you can use the biodegradable waste to our advantage. So this was about today's lesson. We talked about the biotic component of the environment, its various parts. We also talked about biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. We also had a discussion regarding vermicomposting and its benefits. So children, it's now your turn to move towards your books. There are 3 activities given there: activity 1, activity 2 and activity 3. So you go through the activities and try to follow them up. Complete them in your notebooks. I will be providing some more follow-up questions in your WhatsApp group. Try to join in bigger numbers in this live session. You will be enjoying it for a lot. Don't forget to come here in the live session. Ask your questions in greater numbers. I will be more than happier if you come and join in this live lecture sessions. Thank you for today. Stay safe, stay home.